Okay, we're here to check out Rainy Day Recording Co. It's inside the Saskatoon Academy of Music building. Really great location. It's on 1st Avenue, close to SGI. And yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so we're here today at Rainy Day Recordings, and you are Matt Stinn.
I am. Nice to meet you.
Good to be here. Let's get to the questions, I guess.
Yeah.
So what services do you guys offer here?
So at Rainy Day Recording Co., we offer everything from mixing, mastering, full production, songwriting, if you have external tracks you need dealt with, anything you've pre-recorded at home that you need post-work on. I've even done voiceover for TV and radio ads, and then mastering, depending on where you're looking at taking things.
What kind of projects have you worked on lately?
This last month actually has been pretty interesting. I had a band of 14-year-olds in who are actually phenomenal. They make me think of kind of the band King Gizzard a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Really, really talented drummer, really good songwriting.
Nice.
And they yell their heads off. Way better than I was at 14.
Nice.
So working on that, I've been doing a lot of vocal tracking for a hip-hop label based out of Edmonton.
Sweet.
And I've actually been doing some external editing and mixing for a band I know out of Calgary that's self-recorded and just wants things polished up.
So what genre would you say that you specialize in, if any?
Yeah, if I had a preference for work, I would say anything ranging from folk to kind of rock and alternative is definitely where I'm most comfortable. Coming from a guitar playing background, I definitely feel like I have the most to offer in terms of opinions and kind of sonic taste, I guess, in that region. But I definitely don't limit myself to one genre, and I've taken on jobs that range from hip-hop to classical.
What kind of hours do you guys run?
We're kind of lucky in the situation here at Rainy Day, and by lucky I mean I don't sleep. So if 10 a.m. is something you're into, I do 10 a.m. I also do 2 a.m. if that's something you're into. Typically speaking, we do a lot of night sessions here. Just, the reality of being a working musician in our economy is that you probably have another job, which means I get a lot of people starting sessions at 8 or 9 at night, lots of weekend work, but really just we're flexible, so whatever works for you, we try to make work here.
So what made you decide to open a recording studio?
As with most guitar players, I discovered pedals and kind of got obsessed with that world a little bit.
Yeah.
And there was about a 2-year span there where I really dove into guitar gear and really got interested.
Yeah.
Started watching kind of informational videos and like really learning about all of my options. And from there I built a pedal board for the band I'm in and really, just got interested in gear in that world. Mm-hmm. And then, one day I wanted to kind of start recording my own demos so that I could show better ideas to my band. So I went and bought a little one-channel interface, and it was just crap. It sounded terrible, and it was like $90 or whatever it was. And from there, I ended up recording a friend's band by taking an 8-channel PA system and just taking the RCA out into that. And after that, I realized, I really like this. This is pretty fun. So then I went down this rabbit hole for the next 2 years where I just watched every video and learned everything I could and picked a lot of people's brains, and then slowly started acquiring gear. And in the last 2 years, I've been working on building and formatting the space.
So what's the process you go through, like with recording? Do you go through a certain series of steps, or is it just depending on the band?
Honestly, it's all dependent on the project. Sometimes I'll have a singer-songwriter in, and we'll spend a couple hours just listening to the music and kind of working on arrangements together. Sometimes I'll have suggestions. Other times, they'll come in, they'll play a song, and they don't need anything. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I try to spend some time with the artist, musician, or band, and just go through whatever material it is they want to work on and make sure that we're confident with it before we even get in the room, put mics on it.
Yeah.
And then I typically like to work in the kind of the overdub workflow, so the idea of record every instrument separately.
Yeah.
Part of that is because I do have a smaller studio, so make use of the space, make sure we can get the best individual tones for everything we can.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I've run sessions completely live off the floor, where a band just feels that they're going to play better if they're playing together.
Yeah.
And you do, sonically speaking, you do give a little bit away from that, but kind of the mojo and the energy you get back pays for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the most creative thing you've done with recording? Like to change a sound of a certain instrument, or?
Man, that's a hard one. I do try to do like one thing that I would kind of call weird or strange per session. My general thoughts are I want to always do something new for every session.
Yeah.
So sometimes it might be something as simple as trying overheads on the drum kit in a different way.
Yeah.
I've definitely done a session before where we were working with a folk artist, and she wanted sort of a snare drum sort of sound. Like it was a kick and snare pattern, but we found that underneath her guitar and vocals was too prevalent, too much.
Yeah.
So we did the standard kick, but then what we used as our sort of pseudo snare sound is actually a floor tom with a blanket on top, and then hit with a tambourine. So it still has like the crunch and everything.
Yeah.
But it was like the boominess of a floor tom, and then we filtered it and EQ'd it, and just, if you would look at the track, it's honestly bastardized. Like, it's disgusting looking, but it sounds great, so don't question it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Biggest question here, why should people come to record at Rainy Day Studios?
I try really hard. I try really, really hard to keep Rainy Day Recording Co. being a comfortable and a comfortable place to be. I want this to be a studio that I feel good about spending 12 hours a day in, if I do, and I do. But more importantly, I fill it with gear that I think is inspiring to me, and I fill it with gear that gives you lots of options, and it's things you might not have at your house. Like, not everybody has a vintage Wurlitzer. Not everybody has a couple small, weird, old 60s tube amps. Just things that are going to let you explore sonically and come up with ideas that you might not get when you're working just with your band in your jam space.
Yeah.
And yeah, really, that's always what I've tried to do, is just keep it comfortable, keep it experimental, and make sure that people enjoy creating in the space.
Good. So how can people contact you? What's the best way to contact you?
The best way is to actually just message our Facebook page directly. If you do check out our website, which is rainydayrecordingco.ca, it does have an About section that has my personal number, as well as email and everything like that. So you can get a hold of me by phone, email, doesn't matter. Shoot me a text, give me a call. But at the end of the day, if you just want a direct message to the Facebook page for the studio, that works as well.